Crack podcast. It's me, Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, back from holiday. I'm joined this evening by a Dom from Boots on the Table and also Seven Stump himself, Martin.
Hello.
Good evening.
Bloody
How are you,
hell,
gentlemen?
17 episodes of this rubbish. How the hell have we done that? I have no idea. I'm feeling in really inspired company with you two fine gentlemen, both over the 1,000 subscriber mark. And there's me with me Peanuts little channel. And you two let me come on here and, bask in your glory. It's just fantastic.
Oh dear, that's all right. We don't mind peasants.
Funny thing is,
Friends and peasants, welcome.
Funny thing is, he's not lying. Oh my goodness!
Oh, look at that, Dom! I've gone up 3 subscribers.
Shut the front door. I can see Peter in the chat. Hi, Peter. How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
Evening, everybody.
Oh wow!
Oh goodness me.
So yeah, been a good week. You've had a good week away. You're looking very slim and very tanned.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It was crazy because the whole week it was like 19 degrees and it wasn't that sunny. It was very cloudy, but it was very well. The UV rays must have been high because I have tanned and gingers don't tan.
No.
So
Goodness me.
I don't understand where it's come from. But yeah, I had a really nice week off. I did do some painting while I was away. I took a few bits with me. Fit it all in a little box, but I got a couple of figures done and a couple of painting schemes sorted. So didn't do that much. Probably maybe 3 hours over the whole week, but still I read the Oathmark rulebook as well, which was very straightforward. I see what you mean, Dom. It's very, very straightforward, isn't it?
It is. It's
a very nice read. It's a very nice read.
It's a good read. It's very straightforward rules, but I think there's enough nuances in there. It could be quite interesting to play. We'll see. We'll give it a go at some point. That's for sure.
Oh, am I muted? I think I have muted myself like an absolute numpty.
Oh, dear God, he's an amateur. Look at that.
Let's have a look.
Anyway, what have you been up to, Martin? Anything exciting?
Let's try that.
I finished off the civilians I was working on last week. Those 18th
the Perry
century
ones
for muskets and tomahawks. Yeah, the Perry ones. So I finished those off, and then I was working on some Wars of the Roses Perry stuff during the week, which was command base and that.
Yeah.
So I took a while on that, and I finished that yesterday. So now I'm just back onto muskets and tomahawk stuff and French stuff. Funnily enough.
Why did we allow him on this channel? French stuff. I thought your command base was very, very impressive. That's for who was that? Anonymous. Is it War Games Anonymous, isn't it? Or...
Oh, War Games Anonymous did a painting challenge. They voted on their Discord. On the Discord, everyone who's on there voted, and just on the theme. The theme was command, and I just so happened that I was going to do a command base anyway, so it sort of, tied in. So I decided to do Edward IV, but I did a really big one. A bigger command base, seeing as he's a king, and I thought he deserves something, grand.
Something grand.
So yeah, I've been working on that for the last week. So, but now I just want to do more because I really like doing the water and stuff. I like doing all the livery and stuff like that, all the different colours. I think it's nice and cool, and setting it makes a change from painting blue on French.
Yeah, I was ashamed Steve isn't on because that was going to be one of my questions, because I know he's a big fan of these massive bases and almost dioramas of figures, and I saw, and you seem to do a lot of them as well for your commands. But I mean, that one is enormous. I mean, that takes up, I don't know, how big is it? It must be almost a foot across, isn't it?
It's.
Can I just test my mic quickly? Hello. Can you hear me now on my channel?
Apparently everyone could hear you on mine, which was weird.
Yeah, hopefully mine will work now.
So you've unmuted yourself, have you? So he goes away for a few days and,
Yeah, I
and
think
he
so.
loses absolute ability to do everything. And you're supposed to be tech support, for goodness sake. We're screwed if this.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm back. Sorry. I can only apologise for my stupidness.
Ay, ay, ay. 17 and he's got it all wrong. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, Anna did a great intro. Fuck's sake.
Your best one ever, actually, I thought. There you go.
Yeah. Oh well, I'll do a good outro. Sorry about that. But yeah, sorry. Carry on.
No, I was talking about this massive base that Martin's done.
Oh yeah, no, I just mentioned it's 140 mil across.
140 mil.
It's hang on, it's there you go.
It's not for a tank, is it?
No,
Oh, that's
God,
beautiful.
No, that's just a command base for the commander in chief in the army. I thought
that is lovely, mate.
Big.
That is really
Thank you.
nice. I'm very jealous. Do you do commissions?
I got asked once, and then they, I said, well, I don't really know. I don't really know how I'd even, go about painting or doing bases. And then they said, oh no, I don't want you to paint the miniatures. I just want you to do the base and send it to me. But, okay.
Oh, how
but
wow.
I need the model to know how to do. Like,
where you want.
And then I never heard. Then I never heard anything else. So I decided that was probably too weird. Like I'd asked some really stupid question.
Yeah.
And they just like, no, you're an idiot.
Well, if he'd sent you just not even painted miniatures, you'd be all right, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just anything.
Yeah. No, that one was a lot of fun to do. But it just made me want to do more because I've got a whole bunch of sort of like the personalities. But I'll end up with more bloody commanders than I do units, and then I'll have a bit of a problem. I won't be able to have them on. Well, I suppose I could just chuck them on the battlefield, but it'll just look weird.
But how are you going to use them on the table? That's the thing I was interested, because that's going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like if we're doing we use Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
For doing the Wars of the Roses stuff. So there isn't, unless you're fighting in a town, like if you redo St Albans, there isn't loads of scenery. You've got quite open fields, maybe some trees, so it fits quite nicely at the back.
Yeah.
Because the normal ones are just on 60 mil rounds, the normal command bases.
Right.
But I say because it was the king, I wanted to put him on the massive one.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking of doing was when they join a unit, because you can get them all on foot, these characters as well, was I was going to make a smaller base.
Right.
And then when they join the unit, remove the big base and actually slot the base in with the unit and just add a base to it. Because if the unit gets taken out, then they're killed as well. So I thought that would actually look quite cool. But then I think that's an absolute vanity thing and not necessarily it would be just completely because I wanted to do it.
No, exactly. Do you know what the other thing I've always thought about doing with like lovely scenic diorama bases like you've done there is like if you do get killed units, same with the machine gun teams that you get in bolt action, you could magnetize them, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can magnetize them, take them off. But then the little nitpicky bit in me would want to build something to cover that magnet after. Like a plug just to go over the top afterwards. Because I think they like I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to ask you to send me some pictures of that. King thinks that because that was pretty awesome, and it's kind of just got me into thinking about medieval stuff and what
Oh dear.
There's so many of them. There's so many people in there, and they're all bastards. It's great.
Actually, some of the history of that period is just absolutely. I can't remember who we were talking. Oh, it was Wargaming. Gary was talking about doing research into the whole sort of English Civil War period, and I was thinking this. I was saying the same thing to him in the chat about the Baron Wars and all that period, and any of that period is just the Baron Wars, the English Civil War, the War of the Roses, just absolutely fascinating. And there's utter bastards out there that just I don't know how they get away with half. Well, they don't half the time, do they? They don't get away with it.
Well, no, that's it. When I've been doing it, I've been trying to decide because I wanted to paint up like unit leaders as say certain earls or barons or whatever. And I'll go on them, and there'd be history, and some of them would just say executed at Hexham, executed at Wakefield, executed at this. So I started actually looking to see if I could find any who lived, and I've done two. One who survived the Wars of the Roses and actually got pardoned by Henry VII, then rebelled against him, but then got pardoned again for some reason.
Pardoned twice.
Yeah, and then another one who's actually this guy here, Falkenberg, who everyone thought well, and he just died in his bed, which is really unusual because 98% of them were either executed or killed in battle.
That's a hell
Crazy,
of an
isn't it?
accomplishment to survive through all that. Jeez.
All right then. Before we start doing our proper normal down the ramble route we go, then what do I need? What do I need to buy today to get me a basic little starter army for Baron Wars or War of the Roses? What do I need?
You did Wars of the Roses. You go on to Perry Miniatures.
You'll get the joke. You'll get the joke to that at the end.
Click on their plastic set. They do it like a little starter army. I think they do one for like if you got. I mean, depends how much you want to spend. One of their normal boxes is 20 quid, and you get about 40 models in it.
What?
So I do 3 stands of 5 per unit. So each box makes 2.5 units.
Okay.
But they do have a deal on there, which I think is 60 quid or 50 quid, and you get a commander, which you get like a whole little guy like that, for example.
Yeah.
You get a cannon, one of the nice early ones that would probably blow up in your face. And you get like 3 boxes of infantry, so you get nearly 120 infantry for about 60 quid.
That's very good value for money, but my God, that's a lot of painting. And are they straightforward to paint?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just go as detailed as you want. I mean, the knights, the men at arms, are just they're just armored. They're just clad in silver armor. You can go as detailed as you want. There are straps on there, but what I do is I
Mostly armor, is it?
Contrast, yeah, and then I just pick out the belts.
Oh, okay. That's straightforward. Wow, that is pretty quick, isn't it?
And then some of them have got like little rosettes and things on them that you can pick out if you want to. If their thing is when they're all clumped together in a unit, you're not going to notice if one guy's sort of missing.
No.
Then a couple have got their helmets open, so you can do a couple of faces, but you can just whack some contrast on that. And then because they've got a big range of metals, I bought a few metal variants, so I could just pick some other guys in interesting poses in. Just
Oh,
sort of,
okay,
like, here and there, just to see what you can do. But you get like 40 of the armored guys.
And how do you base them? Because I remember you saying, is it 5 per base?
I
What sort of
based them-
frontage?
I base them on a 60mm frontage.
Is that for a Pacific rule set, is it?
It's for Hail Siege. I base them on these.
Okay. And do they sell those, or do they come with them?
No, but those are just from war bases. You get like bases in the pack. You get like a whole set of the Perry Green. I've got them all here. Look, this is all my base. You get one of them in there.
Oh, okay.
But I base my whole army like that because that's what me and my opponent is doing as well.
Oh yeah.
So hang on, I've got one just here. There we go. So that's not actually a commander. That's just a front rank. That's how I.
Look at that paint job. Oh my God.
That's how I do them.
You need to send me a picture of you. Yeah. Well, several pictures of your army. I've got.
I need
mate.
to. Someone asked me a thing if I could do a show, like get them all out. I did when I started. After I'd done a few units, I did like a, what do you call it, showcase.
Yeah,
showcase.
But I haven't done it again since. But I've now painted like nearly double. It was my big buy at Salute last year. Was like when last time Salute ran.
Yeah.
Was Wars of the Roses stuff. I just went a bit nuts.
That could be a challenge for you, bud, for another video. That could be an interesting one, couldn't it? I've done the Germans. Dom can do all his 15mm.
Oh God, don't. I did do all my medievals, that's for sure. So I've got them all around here.
Yeah,
somewhere.
they were awesome. The Barons stuff is wicked as well.
I love that period.
It's the thing is they're also, because everybody kept on turning on each other. Because I'm doing the Yorkists, my opponent's doing Lancastrians, but because individual command people kept on switching sides, I think if we want to, you can just argue, you could just use each other's troops and just say, oh, they switched sides, they got paid off.
Yeah.
Well,
that's crazy, isn't it? So
what I love is also you can
handy,
start doing sort of regional. That's the bit I love about it. So you could say, I want to do the, I don't know, whoever it was, Lord somewhere or other who was based in Shropshire, and I'd just do an army based around his retinue and his force, and it's that's kind of a
Hampshire force.
Yeah, whatever.
If they want.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun of it. I think.
Man!
So there you go. It's another period for you.
Is that another purchase? I feel are coming.
I think it is. And you can justify
it. Bretonians, they make great Bretonians as well.
That's what I was about to say. You can justify it by saying they're going to be fantasy double ups. You see, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So while you're groaning, let me
No.
say hello to who we got in here. We got Peter. I said hello to Peter. Hiya, Peter. Leslie. Hiya. He says all can hear us all clear, which is good. Culloden Painting Studios. Good evening, mate. How you doing? Paul Richardson. He says you can't hear us, then he can hear us, so it's all weird. Oh well, I don't know. Kaiser from
Don't
modelling.
Paul always say that?
I think Paul always does. I think Paul's hearing's gone a bit weird. I think that's what it is. But he does say he's interesting. He's reading an interesting article about Elizabeth Woodville being a serial killer by proxy. She is a fascinating woman. A very fascinating. That period is amazing. Kaiser for modelling from Advantage. He's saying evening chaps. Hiya, Kaiser. How you doing, mate? Nick Games says good evening. Miller's Miniatures, he says good evening. Have I missed a lot? No, just Ken's whole intro.
Miller's also doing Wars of the Roses stuff. As well.
Cool.
He's been stringing his bows, I think, because he's watched one of your videos. He's doing stuff as well. I think you're all nuts, but yeah, it looks wicked. It looks wicked.
Too right. And Duncan's here as well. Yeah. So yeah. I think I do think that whole period. I'm fascinated by the medieval period. I think it's amazing, absolutely amazing, and the treachery and the intrigue. It's like I was reading. Oh God, who was it? I can't even remember who it was now. But somebody recommended it when I was doing my medieval stuff. Oh God, William Marshall book.
Oh yeah.
And it is just like a soap opera. It's just the most extraordinary stories that go on around, as you say, people swapping sides and the treachery. Then one side seems to be doing well, and then they have some, something goes wrong for them, and it all goes completely tits up again. It's just extraordinary stories. They really are. Should be much better known. Oh dear.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
It took us away from our plan. Do we ever stick to the plan if I'm here? No.
There's no plan. There's just rough guidance. That's fine. It's what it's all about, mate. Have a gentle chinwag and get you into buying more.
But
figures.
yeah, no. Bastards. Love it, don't you? But yeah, no. I've got a bit of exciting news as well. I didn't even tell you guys this. In all fairness, right? Because we'll get onto it in a minute about hobby burnout, but because I have had some serious burnout recently, I did want to start a new project after what I'm doing, and I want to go back to doing some historical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have kind of just decided what I'm going to do. So it's either going to be like the Baron Wars time or War of the Roses. So I, over on my channel, am doing a giveaway on this stream.
Ooh.
So yeah.
I'm going to go and log in there so I can win. Good plan.
I've got some Continental Infantry, because I'm not going to do these, because I'm just not, because I've gone off it completely. And I also have some British Infantry as well, another set up there. And they are giveaways for today. And I shall pick a lucky winner in the chat, and the chat gets going towards the end of the video. All you have to do is put in the chat either Continental or British, and I shall go through at random and I shall pick one. And you shall get those lovely things in the post, because then it gives me an excuse to buy the medieval stuff, because I haven't got a backlog.
Oh my lordy. Very generous of you, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'll make you really
somebody out there
sick
would
now,
like to
because
paint them.
we've been playing a load of the
here we
new
go.
muskets and tomahawks rules using those very figures. And I have to say, in all honesty, they are some of the finest rules I think I've ever played. They are absolutely awesome.
That's it. That's an interesting one.
They are
That's all right.
yeah, really, really good. And I don't often say that. And to be fair, there's a big caveat, because we've only played a couple of games, but the guys at my club have been playing it as well quite a bit, and yeah, everybody's played it and says, wow, these are just brilliant. They are so much fun. So yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm looking forward to doing that, actually.
I've got a game tomorrow night, hopefully. That's the plan. Another one. So
You old Dom straight in there with the games. Love it, mate. Not long, Dom. It's not long.
It-
I'm coming up.
Definitely, mate. You're on. You are on
If I
for
if
sure.
I wasn't on call this week, Dom, I'd probably come up one day. But it's a sad thing being on call.
Yeah,
Yes,
work
I am
gets in
on
the
call
way
now.
of reality. Yeah. But no, seriously, I think I would certainly recommend Muskets and Tomahawks 2 to anybody who likes that sort of skirmish, small tactic black powder games. They are awesome. Really, really good rules.
Cool.
So yeah, watch out. I've got a video which I just rendered or just edited today, which is from last Tuesday's game, which got a bit dark towards the end again. Gonna have to get some proper lights because playing outside is a bit of a problem. But it was superb. Really good fun. Really good fun. But
You do realise when I come up and we go on. Sorry, go on, mate. I thought you finished.
no. Carry on, mate. You carry on.
I was going to say, you do realise when I come up and I bring all those studio lights, people are going to think it's a football game going on. And your neighbour's going to look out their windows and just see me and you, Sado, stood in the back garden filming the videos of us playing bloody soldiers.
Play with toy soldiers in the garden. Oh my god, yeah. Well, they know I'm weird anyway, so it's all fine. Yeah.
Fine then.
Ay. So, Nick Games, hiya mate. He said, my hat's off for stringing the bows. You know what? It's not that difficult. It really isn't. It depends on the figure, right? It really depends on the figure. If you've got, if they're posed with the bow, basically, if the bow itself isn't sort of too close to the body, and especially if it looks like they've loosed, you can do it really easily. When they become a problem is like when the bow tip's tucked under their arm, or full draw bow is quite difficult to do because you have to drill things through hands and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure I'll do it on a full blown 28mm army, but for a few skirmish figures I don't mind doing it. I've just done my German infamy ones with it as well, so there you go.
Well, it would actually give me something to use that string from the
from the ships that you're never going to get round to doing. I know. Yeah.
They might have to go out to commission somewhere. Someone can do those. I can't do them. I can't face it. I can't face it, Dom. I really can't. They make it there. Yeah. And plus, I know you've got millions of ships behind you, so I could just use yours.
Yeah, mine have all got the Union flag on them, mate. So you can't,
Oh no, he's got no French.
I got a couple of pirates. I wouldn't soil my cabinet having French ones in there. God damn, no.
No, definitely not.
Ay.
Yeah.
So, Miller says his command isn't a scratch on what Martin's been producing. Oh, that's very gentle. I think your figures are very good too, as Miller. But that command Martin's been working on is superb. Really impressive.
Yeah, it is good.
Mind you, it does take up half the bloody table to do it, which is kind of a bit extreme.
Yeah. I don't know, mine. Let's see it again. Mine is absolutely amazing. I'm literally so jelly.
There he is.
So you put a video up. Was it this
morning?
Was it this morning you showed that one off?
Yeah, I did part. Yeah, that's the one that was on the video today. Yeah.
That's mate, look at the arrows. My God, man! How long did that take you to do? So it goes 20 minutes.
It took me about 3 days. Like painting, maybe a couple of hours each day. Or model. I did the base all last night. That was what I did. So yeah, just doing the models took a couple of days, and then it was deciding where they're all going to go. That's the pain with it, and trying to get them on a realistic trying to get this so it's either not flat or then they're not at a funny angle. See, when I build it up, I use that Luke APS modeling compound to build the base up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then create little platforms on the base where models can stand, because most of them have got pudding bases, and I can't be bothered to slice those off.
No.
And then what I do is with the bushes and the foliage, I then hide those sort of steps and contours behind those, so you end up with like a sort of a pyramid. So you got like the guy you want at the top, and then you've kind of got other people sort of splaying out around the bottom of it. So I don't know. He obviously he's up the top, and I want people to look at him. And the enemy archers want to shoot at him. So
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was fascinating. Also, you were talking about all the arm. You've done a fair bit of research on what armor he wore and all that kind of stuff, which I was impressed with.
Yeah,
as well.
that's the closest I've ever really got to. I remember what you wrote actually. I remember. I don't know if I'll say it again. But I basically, it was only because on the Perry website they painted him up. Like Miller will say this as well, because I was trying to chat with him about it. That on the website he's painted up sort of in bronze, gold armor, and they did have that. So I was just kind of curious and thinking, is that something that he wore? And I couldn't find anything about it. And I've got quite a lot of sort of books and art books for the Wars of the Roses because I really am into it and interested in it. So so I just kind of had a search and I found this. It's quite sad, but I found these pictures from a genealogy that he actually had commissioned in the British Library. So it basically shows his right to rule, if you like, going all the way back to God.
Yeah.
And in it, it's freezes from his big important things in his life, and there's a picture of him from the Battle of Mortimer's Cross, or just before it, where he managed to get a natural phenomenon and say, "This is God's proof that he likes me, and we're going to win." And then he absolutely slaughtered the Lancastrians. And in it, he's wearing black armor, but there's a note on there, not at the British Library, but someone else put a reference on there saying that it was silver leaf, and that's now oxidized down to black. But then I found just as many other references going, no, he wore black armor because the guy was 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 500 years ago.
Which is
so
massive.
in armor,
He's a tall guy.
You got that coming towards you in black armor. That would have been quite resonant. I just thought the black armor looked cool, and it's that kind of stuff you see him in museums. That sort of black armor with the gold trim. I think it's German.
Yeah,
it might be. Someone could probably. So that's what I just thought I'd go with him. So I found that picture and thought, I'll stick that in the video. So there's quite a lot you can find out because it's not actually 500 years ago. It's not that long ago. There's a lot of records about what happened, except the bit about the princes. Apart from that, there's loads of information. It's pretty well recorded.
Quite handy then.
Yeah, because they were all trying to do so much propaganda and what have you. It was well researched or well written about, wasn't it, by all the monks and everything. So, no, I thought it was brilliant.
They thought about us gamers, didn't they? They thought about us gamers in the future and thought someone's going to need that for reference to paint me at some point.
Have you ever wondered what those sort of people would ever think about idiots like us sitting here painting little models of them? I mean,
I think they'd think we're the fools that you'd have around the palace to entertain.
I think you're probably right. Yeah. Probably right, mate.
Oh yeah. But just to make people stay around, Dom. This is Dom's tease. Dom's going to give you this news, but at the end of this stream, there is some very, very exciting news, isn't there, Dom?
Do you know what? You're like my wife. She can't hold a secret at all. Just can't resist telling people in advance about it. Yeah, there is a huge secret.
I haven't said what the secret.
No, it's true. It's true.
It is massive, and even Martin is like trying not to say anything.
I'm just staring at my model.
Just gonna paint. Yeah. So we'll not gonna let it slip. That's all. No.
We'll tell you in the last 10, 15 minutes of the show, just so you know. Hey, well,
we'll do it after I've done the giveaway.
Good plan.
Off the back of me saying that, my wife has just kept on saying, "Is that me you're talking about? Your model?"
Tell her to go back to her gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
What are you doing tonight, Dom?
I'm doing fences, mate. There you go. That's very exciting.
Cracking idea, mate.
I'm doing some fences. I've just finished a little house as well. There you go. So yeah, nice. I discovered when we were playing these Muskets and Tomahawks games that we didn't have any, because I think I mentioned this, I can't remember when I mentioned it, probably last week, but because most of my gaming happens usually round at the club, and the club has a terrain cupboard.
Oh, terrain. Yeah.
So I don't have an awful lot of terrain. Well, I do, but a lot of it's old and mouse eaten and 20mm and 15mm scale and stuff. And I realised when we were doing these games around at people's houses, or even when I was planning to have people around mine, I didn't have enough trains. So I started to collect some more trains. So I've been working on a bit of it. But these rails, I got quite a lot of them for like £5 on eBay. They're actually plastic railway ones. But once you painted them up and stuck them on little stands, they actually work really well. So so that's what I'm doing at the moment. May even see the table tomorrow if they're. Nice. So that's all I'm doing. What about you? What are you working on?
I am dun 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 dun. Actually, do mine first because mine's got a little story behind it. So do mine.
What are you working on, Martin?
What am I working on? I'm working on my what am I working? French Marines for muskets and tomahawks. French, just
Well, it's important the British have something to kill. It's really important. Good plan.
It's funny you should say that because I played Black Powder last week. We were introducing someone to it, and so I took the French, and they used exactly the same armies as I used in one of the videos where I played my wife. And I don't even know if you can describe it as a slaughter because there wasn't any French lit. Like there was just they were just wiped off the face of the board. It was ridiculous. You'd have loved it. The guard marched over a river, saw off the Scots, who didn't break, and then just got annihilated, just absolutely annihilated. Everything. It was crazy. Bloody 95th rifles. I hate them. Absolutely hate them.
I don't.
Brilliant. Historically, brilliant in game. Brilliant because I like following Sharp as well. Because why not? But in the game, when you're French and this bloody pesky little unit keeps on appearing, and you're like, do I have to divert all these resources to go and get rid of them? Are they actually causing that much havoc? Or you leave them alone, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden this disorder and casualties start racking up quite quickly. It's a nightmare. So we sent two cannons off to try and deal with them. And the final shot of the game was two cannons with canister at point blank range, and they missed every single shot. Every single one.
Brilliant.
So the only answer is to paint more French, clearly.
Clearly.
That's the way.
Clearly. Oh, brilliant. I love it.
So that's what mine's up to. Right. Story behind mine.
Come on then, Kane. Right. Give us your tale of woe.
Oh, it's a tale and a half. Right. I am painting dwarfs. And this has been the secret project that has been going on, which is no longer happening to be secret because technology, and I work with technology, which is even more friggin' annoying. Basically, what happened is I've been trying to do a time lapse of painting this whole army. There is a lot of miniatures here. There's like 200 odd miniatures, and was transferring in the middle of transferring like 120 gigs worth of files, so it was like 40 hours worth of footage. And my SD card decided to corrupt because I had a power cut. They did it midway, so I lost all the footage, which is quite devastating. So I'm obviously not going to be carrying on with that because it will look rubbish because half of it's already painted. But I will be doing little snippet videos of how I paint certain things and like how I paint my dwarves and stuff. So if you're interested in that sort of bit, there will be videos coming up on the channel, but not the big one I was really looking forward to doing.
Oh dear, mate.
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of painting some dwarves because why not? Because they are the best. So yes, that's what I'm painting.
Says the dwarf lord. Oh yay.
Yeah, says the dwarf lord himself. Yeah, but yes, I'm a bit gutted about that. So play the violin for me if you would. That would be very nice.
It would be devastating.
Yeah. You just imagine it, 40 hours worth of footage. Just
I don't want to imagine it. It just makes me feel a bit.
Every time now you go to put your SD card in to transfer your files, you're going to be like, is it going to happen to me?
Do you know, I get enough nervousness. I get so frustrated just enough when you video something and you think it's gone really well, and then you actually look it back on the screen and it's all blurred because the autofocus has gone crazy and you have to go and redo it. That makes me annoyed enough.
Do you want to know a trick? Do you want to know a trick for that, Dom?
What's
do you want to know a trick for that? Because I was getting that. Put it on autofocus where you want the miniature to be, where the miniature's going to be throughout the whole video, and then switch it onto manual focus, and it will stay at that point.
Oh, that's a very.
And it won't lose focus from that direct point.
Ooh, clever
I've been
boy.
doing that a
Thank
lot,
you.
and it is,
Yeah,
and it's helped so much.
I shall try that.
Otherwise, it seems to, and then your hand goes out of focus, which is fine because the miniature
Mm.
doesn't. So I have found that.
My camera is supposed to have some really clever function where it's called product show or something, and you can. It's supposed to be if it's looking at your face or something like that, and then you put your hand in front with the product, it focuses on that immediately, and then drops it again once you drop your hand. But
Once you drop your hand, yeah,
I think it's
doesn't
because
seem to be doing it.
I think it's because I'm looking at a product and then looking at another product. It doesn't seem to understand the difference. That's the problem. Anyway, that's a good tip. I shall
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah, give it a go.
Dear, oh dear. So they were just congratulating us on doing a serious historical chat and how it was nice to hear everyone enthusiastic about historical stuff, and then you have to go and spoil it by talking about dwarves.
No, it's historical. Historical is on the main thing. So that is
I'm
that
laughing.
is what we are. That is what we were talking about, especially some bolt action. Loves a bit of bolt action, but yeah, that's what we're all working on. What did you have for today's questions, Dom?
Well,
Anything in particular?
I have to. Well, do you want to start? You had an interesting one around hobby stations or something. Do you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. So obviously everyone's different and everyone's situation's different for hobby stations. Obviously, being on YouTube, I've tried to make a certain space where I do my videos. It's not. I haven't got. Believe it or not, I haven't got a lot of room to do like my hobby and my videos. Some people might say it's a lot, but I would love this whole room behind me to be hobby room. But alas, it's not. I've basically got an IKEA PC table in front of me. What I'm sitting at. It's quite a large one. Don't get me wrong. It's probably about a metre and a half long by metre wide or so. But only about half of it, 2/3 maybe, is actual hobby, like where paints are and bits and bobs. But I've got some storage underneath, and I was just interested in what people do for hobby spaces. Would they love to, like, their ideal thing? Would they love to kit their walls out with paint racks or like paint certain walls? So like this wall behind me now, I'd love for this to be black because I just like that for like a background sort of thing. Or what sort of extreme would you go to if you could, or if you really thought about it? So like I say, I'd love to paint this wall back, but I'm not allowed. That's why I need. That's why I need. That's why I need a. That's why I need a studio, which hopefully when I get my new house, I will be having. So it's probably because it's weird because I've found YouTube to be a hobby in itself, which is even more weird. Which I never thought it would be. I thought it'd just be somewhere I could upload videos, but I've actually quite enjoyed the editing and stuff. But just hobby space in general, what do people use? So have you got more than one space in your house, or do you just use one space mainly? And what do you have on it all the time? So yeah. What about you, Dom? What do you use? Or Martin? Yeah, go Martin first then. Yeah, just drop Martin in it.
I like to think I've only got one space in the house. My wife would probably disagree.
Yeah. So mine. Yeah.
We've got a shed at the bottom of the garden, which is where all the terrain is in various boxes, and then most of the stuff is in here. I mean, basically, I'm in got a little back room where the fridge is. Yeah. I mean, I'm downstairs, so I'm next to the fridge, which is ideal. But I've got a couple of units. I've got the one behind me that you can see. That's current rule sets that I play. Then up the top there, I've moved this up actually. I've got some box board games that I'm yet to do stuff with. And then I've just got a unit that's filled with odds and ends. But what I'm working on, I wonder if I can actually.
We can fly.
I've got this permanent setup, basically.
Nice.
Then basically that's got odds and ends in. But what I can't show is where I keep all my paint. So I don't have a paint rack. I've never actually used one. I've got a unit that's just like a plastic thing with 3 drawers in it, and I just chuck all my paints and my basing stuff in there. But mostly it's set up on here. I've just got this 2x2 piece of MDF on here, which on top of basically a drawer in the cupboard. And then everything just sits in here. So in the drawer beneath, directly under it, I've got all my basing, my glue, everything like that. And then I basically just make stuff, and then I either filter it out to there's a display cabinet, which I've got stuff in. But either that or it just goes into boxes, or I kind of leave things here on the side because I just want to look at them.
Yeah, I've got a very similar sort of thing. Just there, I have another little rack here, which is like rule sets. I've got a couple of boxes up the top there that you can see.
Yeah.
You know, just a load of crap down here. but yeah, like you were saying, I have like, I'm having to change this because of a cat. So as you can see, I've got like painting racks there, and I'm having to get some really tall ones.
Right.
Like I'm talking like 100 bottles each. The ones Vallejo do, they do like a mega paint thing or whatever it is, because the cat at night time comes in this room and goes on the window ledge, which is right over my paint desk. So she has to go on my paint desk to get on the window ledge. And for some reason, she doesn't come out the same way she goes in. She clambers along and splits through the tiny gap where the curtain and the wall is and walks over all my paint stuff.
No, they will. They will.
And it drives me insane. So I've just thought, no, I can't. I've just got to bite the bullet, and I've bought 2 more paint racks, and they are on the way because I am fed up of coming in and putting paint bottles up neatly. It's driving me nuts. So I've had to do that. But cheers, Dom. You find it funny?
Oh, that's hilarious. Because my cat doesn't come in here very often, but it's fine. It makes me laugh. Let's see what people are saying here. Hey, welcome. It's Wargaming with Gary's here. Well done, mate. You finally made it. Well done. He's been promising to join for months and months, for weeks and weeks anyway. Good to have you on board. And he says,
"Hey, Gary."
He's currently using a little square in my garage, but I do have a paint rack and a very large kitchen table because he does all his filming there.
The thing is, you probably see it with other YouTubers and things like that. They have like lovely, like when you're talking like 20k plus subscribers, they've got beautiful areas. Do you know what I mean? They're just dedicated to it, and it's like, I want that. I really, really want that. I'm not a very organised person, but when it comes to paint and hobby, I love it all organised and regimented. I would. Oh my god! I'm just thinking about it now. I'm just thinking about a summer house.
He's having a wet dream.
And I'm just thinking, it's going to be amazing. But yeah, no, I would love to actually sort it all out, and especially I've got like cables everywhere because I've got. I need to sort this room out. But the problem is, what can I do with this little space? I can't make it perfect because I'm always buying stuff and I'm always adding stuff in, and it's like I need bigger space, and I think that's the problem. Need a bigger space, but there's only so much of the house I can take over before I get shouted at. Yeah.
Nick Games says the hobby space is like a volcano. The hobby is the lava slowly eating up the space in my home. It's probably true, mate.
Yeah.
I think we're all the same.
It's so true.
And Leslie says the larger the table, the more stuff you keep out, and do not keep it tidy. One space for painting and construction, a couple of units for books, no paint racks. Use clover tubs. Okay, right. Okay, good for you. I thought you'd be a butter man, Leslie. I really did. There you go. And Culloden says, I actually spent the weekend reorganising my hobby space, moved to a big desk from a sheet of MDF over a little table, and I have set up 4 laser cut MDF paint racks. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely when you first do something like that. I remember moving from my corner PC desk to this big desk here, and it just made like my mental state so much happier. And it annoys me because because that's another reason I bought the big paint racks, is because I haven't got enough spaces to keep all my paints on. But those 2 racks will be enough space, so they'll all be on the rack, so the cat can't step on them and break everything. And it's just like, oh my god, it's so nice, and can't wait. So they were an eBay purchase for $10 each, so they should be here in the next couple of days, hopefully. But yeah, no, I'd love to have like a little there's so many things in it. It's like everything. I'd love to have an airbrush station just there, just so I could pivot round and go. Shh. And I'd love so many things. But alas, I need a bigger house.
Yeah.
Why do you want a bigger house, love? Is it to have some babies? No, I just want a bigger hobby space.
Bigger hobby space. Well, I think I've said this before when we were talking about my garage of shame. But when we moved to this house, my wife is the most organised person in the world. I'm not. And she always has these list of criterias on when you're buying things or what have you. And I said the one criteria for me is I need somewhere which is big enough for a 6 foot by 4 foot table, and I can play my games. And that's all I want, right? That's all I want. And that was the garage. And for years I used that garage, and it was decked out with the table. Table's still there, obviously. And all the cabinets were on the side that I'd put in were full of figures and train and all sorts of things. And then I stopped playing for 7 or 8 years, something like that, and I lost control of the garage, and I still don't have control of the garage. So I'm a sort of a nomad now. So I've got this room that was my room for all this stuff. I didn't paint in there because and I've mentioned this before, my wife gets fed up if I go off and paint for too long somewhere, and she comes and starts talking to me, and that's really annoying. So I paint on the living room table. And so everything has to be really, has to be nomadic, and I have to pick it up and move it because it's the dining room table, right? And occasionally we'd actually use it to eat on, which seems a bit extreme to me. I think it's far better as a painting station. But that's what I use to do painting and the videos and everything else. So this, where I sit now, this is my office. This is where I work because I work from home the whole time. So this isn't really my painting station or my hobbying station. Although you can see all the figures in the cabinets behind. Because I thought, well, since it's my office, I'll set it up and have all my figures sitting there showing off. So
this is 9 to 5. This is 9 to 5 dom space, is it?
Yeah, although it's quite embarrassing when you first join another. This is where I work. Yeah, so I'm in here. This room is where I'm in. I don't know how many hours every day, but a lot every day, working. And it's also a bit of a distraction because obviously I've got all the toys here, so which is also quite fun. So yeah, but I've had to I've actually got an outside unit now out in the garden, which I've started to move some of the stuff from the garage into, so that I can actually find it and get to it now. And then I will attempt to reconquer the garage at some point. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So Alpha in my chat is going, can invest in the Billy range from IKEA. I have looked at IKEA stuff, but the problem again, this space behind me, it looks, wide enough to store that, which it is, don't get me wrong, but then which you probably haven't seen, I'm not too sure, you might have seen it in a few videos, but behind me, that tends to be a space when it's wet, where the clothes get dried, so I can't use that space. Which is another frustrating thing. There's a chest of drawers there full of clothes because there's nowhere else to go. Because our main bedroom, because we've got a 2-bedroom house, this is the box room. The main bedroom, obviously, my beautiful other half, she has too many clothes and nowhere to store them. Which, I'm not joking with you, right? Anywhere I go, she buys a set of pyjamas. She must have about 70 sets of pyjamas. This is her thing. She doesn't buy shoes, she buys PJs. And they're always Winnie the Pooh. So, what Winnie the Pooh are you wearing today, love? Is just the thing, but
that's a lot cheaper, mate. That's not a bad thing to do. Shoes are a hell of a lot more expensive.
No, it's not. It's not. She's a good lady. She's a good lady because I turned around on holiday and I said, "Oh, do you want to go in the Pandora shop and buy something? I'll buy something." And she was like, "No, we'll go to Primark and get some pajamas." I was like,
"Oh, I love her. That's brilliant." And Ken's thinking, "Great, I can afford my medieval army now. Fantastic, good on you."
Yes, fantastic. But I'm very, very much, very much looking forward to that because. Like I say, I don't know how many more of these dwarfs for the minute I'm going to do. I don't know whether to plough through all of them or take a little break because there's enough here for us to play Oathmark basically, Dom, that I've painted up. I've just got to paint, I'll probably end up painting one of the cannons and maybe, I'll probably end up painting Thorgrim because he's just awesome and use him as a general sort of figure.
Yeah.
But I've got like a mix of stuff for us to be able to play Oathmark. I've got some humans as well to mix in there, so there's enough for us to get going, and I can just add to them over the time. But it might be time to go back and start another historical project, like I was saying. Maybe some medieval stuff. Maybe try and start it small, I guess. Start with a box or something, and just go from there.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. It'd be nice to get some games as well, because. once the dice start rolling again.
Well, that inspires you,
it'd be-
doesn't it,
it'd be quite
to
nice.
do things once you get a game going. It makes you want to buy things like.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's gonna do that, I think, which is gonna be quite nice to actually do.
So I can confirm Leslie is a butter man most of the time. I thought so. Good on you. Paul says painting table and storage area, understairs cupboard in the utility room, garage and loft. Bloody hell, you've taken over the whole world. Fantastic, mate. Well done. Fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Nick Games.
That's, you know what? That's another nice space would be the loft, wouldn't it? That would be another nice space, but then you'd have to insulate it properly, wouldn't you? And summer would be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true. You'd have to have decent ventilation and stuff up there, wouldn't you? Jeez. Nick Game says he needs a war room, a man cave with a table set up, painting station, assembly station, basing station, and a couch just to sit and look into a fireplace. A hobby dream. Oh my god.
A hobby dream. I tell you what. I tell you who has got a nice little room actually. And when I see it's Fraser. Fraser's got some nice. He's got like
he
that
does,
box
doesn't
room,
he?
hasn't he?
Yeah, upstairs.
He's got like he's got a whole box room, but he said because he's getting a man shed built, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's going to be his new space. So his wife said he's got to give up the man cave. So he's got to give that up. But that's how he's got that set up. I quite like how he's got that set up.
Yeah.
He seems to have it might be the camera angle, but everything that room just looks dedicated to him.
Yeah.
So he's got like loads of space and things like that, and I'm like, oh, if I could have this whole. To be fair, if I could have this whole room, it'd be ideal. This would be like a good size because I could get another table, another desk here, and put it there, so it'd be like an L-shaped desk.
Yeah.
And go like that, and oh, the dreams. Now, how do I convince her to get rid of her clothes? How do I do it?
I think that's
She
going
can
to
probably hear me actually, because I think she's in the next room.
That's not going to happen, mate. I can tell you that much. That's not going to happen. Well, no, it's I think with something. I think it's the thing all gamers have is just that desire just to have space to spread your models out and somewhere to show them, somewhere to play, ideally, somewhere just to set up and paint whenever you want. It's a dream.
Well, we know of a couple of people that can do that, but we can't talk about them yet.
He's off again. Look at that. He's off again. You see that, Martin? You see what I say? He can't keep a secret, this bloke. He's just unbelievable. Oh, funny.
I just like tease. I love teasing the chat. Just love it. Just got to tease, haven't you?
Yeah. So Nick Game says, have you seen Perry Miniatures War Room? Epic.
Awesome.
I'm saying nothing.
It is pretty good because they they've got helmets and stuff, haven't they, on display?
Oh yeah.
It's just
That's what I'd want, like artifacts or just those big paintings of like I don't know, just
tapestries and stuff like that.
Anything.
Yeah.
There's some
Oh
wicked
my
artists
God.
out there. I've even seen things like popping up. There's some awesome artists out there, just like, and rather than having say a blank wall, just like lots of different pictures from the way you can do it. I've kind of started really crappily over there with a couple of posters from the 30s.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my wall, but I've
That's
never
your
actually
effort.
done something with it. But yeah.
Well,
Do you reckon your wife would let you paint the room up?
I don't know. He's looking at me.
She watching the stream?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, she's a
What
big.
you say?
Maybe depends what colour I get. I guess it depends what I'm gonna
Yeah.
put in it.
Listen, she's a bigger YouTube star than you are, Martin. So
Yeah, I know. To be fair, she might just want a little bit on there where she can scratch, like, you can have a little tally of the wins and losses.
Yeah,
Where she
exactly.
can just scratch that instead of like measuring our daughter's height. We'll just measure how many times she beats me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There won't be a wall big enough. That's what she's just...
Good on you, Hayley.
Yeah, good on you.
Aye.
Good on you.
I'm the same. I've got over here. I shouldn't say this because this will disgust everybody. But this tube here, see this one? This is
You bastard.
This is
I couldn't say it before you even done it.
This is the big picture that's on the front cover of Infamy rule set. Have you seen that picture?
You bastard.
The Roman
yeah.
legionaries. So I bought a print from Chris Collingwood because he was selling off some limited edition prints, and so that's got to find a home somewhere. And I don't
I was
know
gonna say,
where.
it's still in the tube, Dom.
Well, I got nowhere to put it. I don't want to get it out. I've got to get it framed because it's such a beautiful print.
Above the bed.
Above the bed.
Every time you stare up, it's there.
Oh, I love it. Darling, why is there a Roman legionary being attacked by Gallic warriors above our bed?
Because it's so good.
Oh, my God. That'll get us all very excited. I'm not going to go there. Not going to go there at all. Leslie says, don't have a loft in the house. Use the space above the lambing pens to store the scenery panels. 2 other studio workshops to store the boxes with the finished troops and scenery. Now, that's what I want. That's what I want. What I really, really want is when we move, I want an outside building or 2 where I can have all this stuff set up and I can film and stream.
This is a requirement for a new house.
Yeah.
This is a requirement for a new house for me. Is either an outbuilding or a summer house.
Mm-hmm.
Either one there or enough room for me to put at least a 10-foot by 20-foot shed. That is a requirement. Because that thing will be getting insulated. It will be having a broadband connection delivered straight to it. So yeah, I'm already gonna. Well, the guys probably at work don't know this, but they're gonna help out doing it as well in return for beer. But yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, one of our neighbours has got one of those big wooden cabins, and I keep looking and thinking, well, I could get. We've got as big a garden as they have. I could fit one of those in, and I'm thinking, no, we'll just move and get one somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, and the problem is as well, the wife will get hold of it and be like, oh look, I could have a bit of that room, and no the thing for it will be is Laura can have the whole house. I won't do any hobby indoors, and it will all be outside, and she will be happy.
That was the plan for me with the garage, but I lost control of that. So watch it. You know, it does happen. But yeah, I did leave it empty for about 8 years, so that's probably why. So it's my own fault, really.
Yeah.
Oh, Graham's here.
Dom, you do realise when I come up and when I see this garage, you do realise I'm going to come up there and I'm going to give you the tut of shame, and you're gonna sort it out, Dom. It's going to get done. We're going to have a game in there, Dom. In the garage, we're going to have a game. At some point, we will have a game.
At some point.
It will look so good.
At some point, we will. Yeah.
I'm going to walk in there and go, oh shit, Dom, actually.
Yeah, you are. You have no idea what you're embarking on, mate. You've no idea. It's going to be frightening.
I like a challenge, but there.
So I'm getting trolled in my own chat. So Graham's just joined. Who's one of my my buddies. Trolled? One of my buddies from Farnborough, and we played a saga. We've been playing saga games on Discord for a couple of weeks now. And he's thrashing me. Last week he absolutely mullered me, and then he sticks it up on YouTube. So I'm not going to plug his channel because you can see me getting absolutely mullered. So yeah, don't. It was embarrassing.
That's nice of him.
It was embarrassing. So he's just come on to troll me.
Getting trolled on your own chat.
And he wants to play me again this week as well. So I'm going to have to find something going to up my game. I've lost 2 out of 2 so far. Jeez. Oh, don't tell work because it's while I'm supposed to be working. So there you go. Never mind. What else was I going to say about hobby? Yes, that's why I'd love to have a dedicated place like that. That's my ideal. And actually, to be fair, my wife is very supportive of it. If we get the space, but at the moment, just space is all being used up. So, but I think, like you say, if I can get to the point where I say everything hobby is out of the house, it's in this. Whatever it is, outbuilding thingy, whatever it may be, she'll be happy with that. That'll be fine, and she can fill the rest of it.
The problem is, I know it sounds stupid, but places like that need to be insured.
Oh God, yeah.
Extra insurance.
Yeah, they
do.
The
extra plastic that's in there. My God.
Imagine how much money would be in those kind of places. Jesus, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, but.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no, but that was my thing, wasn't it? So, what did you have you wanted to talk about tonight, Dom?
Oh God, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let's go to the Peter's little question of the week because he always sends it, and there were a couple. And actually, Leslie sent one as well this week. So we've got 2. We got Peter and Leslie's questions of the week. So reminder, if anybody's desperate to ask a question. just send me an email. GamerDom13 at... No, hang on. I don't know. I'll put it in the chat. GamerDom13
It's in the chat.
at gmail.com. Anyway, so Peter's question is, what's the... I think he said, what's the point of YouTube? I assume he means what's the point of our channels on YouTube, which is a bit harsh, but there you go. Are you earning money from it? If not, why not? And is it cost effective compared to the time involved? Now, you could just talk vaguely about this just a minute ago, being a full-time hobby, Ken. What do you reckon?
Yeah. What if I could do this as a job?
Yeah.
If
But
I could
why do you do it?
job, yeah.
Why do you do the hobby?
Why do I do it?
Why do you do this?
Oh right. Why do I do it? Why do I do YouTube? It's a really good one actually, because for me it was more for my sanity than anything else. Because obviously people know, I don't hide it or anything, that I had a heart condition, so I needed something while I was off work. I took 3 months off of work to like keep me a bit sane, and I thought, why don't I just upload stuff to YouTube and see what people think? And then it's also a nice little reference for me. I was being a bit selfish this time, to go back, and if I've done any painting, I remember what I've actually painted and how I painted it.
Yeah.
So in 5 years' time, I can go, how did I paint those US Airborne again? Oh yeah, I can go back and look at my own video for it. So it was kind of like that, but it was the dream for me personally. The dream is I would love to do this as a job. I would absolutely love to do YouTube as a job. Very unlikely to happen, but if it did and it took off, I would. Oh my god, yeah! Just being able to paint the things that will play with the things that I love every day. Who wouldn't love that? It would just be incredible, wouldn't it? But yeah, for me it was definitely a sanity thing. So it kept me a bit sane. It kept me going in a tough time. So that was the reason I started it, and then I met you guys.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to actually speak to people that like hobbying, which is another same people that have got a similar interest to me, because obviously you guys have got your own channels. You might do it for different reasons, but I just thought one day, why not do it?
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't make any money out of it, do you? I mean, that was his other question. Do we make any money? And
Not a
is
penny.
it therefore worth it? No.
Not a penny. I've got a Patreon. I've got one Patreon guy. I've just set that up. So if people want to donate, they can donate. I just use it. Well, the Patreon I've got. I think I've made $30. So that is going to go towards buying some new brushes. But that's pretty much it. So, but apart from that, no, there's no money for ads. And that was a really good question actually, because I could have enabled ads, and you could have done the same, Martin, as well, wouldn't you? Once you get to 1,000 subscriber, you can enable ads. So on our videos, there would be an advert at the start. There might be one in the middle. There might be one at the end. Which you'll see a lot of the YouTubers when you get to like 100,000 subs and stuff, they enable ads, or even 10,000, 20,000. There's not a massive revenue stream in it, and I think that everybody personally, I use ad blocker. Like personal stuff, because I don't like watching ads. I don't like ads.
They are.
Yeah, they some people don't want to watch them. Some people just skip them. But there's not a lot of money to be made in YouTube anymore, and that's why a lot of people have like donations, or like they'll have exclusive content behind paywalls and stuff like that, because at the end of the day it's a living for them, isn't it? So you got to be able to make similar money to what you'd make in a job to be able to live. So I'd need to earn my salary, would be nice, because I wouldn't want to change my lifestyle before I even considered giving up work for it really. And that would take a lot of subscribers, so you're looking at 100k plus subs for that sort of thing. But the chance of me ever getting 100k subs is very low. You have to have one of those videos that goes absolutely viral, don't you, for that sort of thing to happen? Because even though people search for certain content, it doesn't always show. So like I've made a couple of YouTube accounts, just random ones before, and I've just put in, for example, contrast painting, and I know I've got that on some of my tags, but it will take me to some really random stuff that has nothing to do with Games Workshop contrast paint. But until I type in the actual title of my video, it then pops up. but certain tags. I think it's very clever, the YouTube algorithm, because if you watch a lot of modelling videos, it will probably understand people that type contrast painting in and watch modelling videos. It will probably direct them to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just trying to get like go viral and stuff like that, it's very very hard to do. That's why Goobertown Brent
Yeah.
over in
Yeah.
the States. Yeah, Goobertown Hobbies. He did that Night Goblin video, didn't he? And that's what made him go absolutely smash through the roof. Painted 100 goblins. I love that video. I've watched that video about, I reckon, 8 or 9 times because it's just awesome. It's just nostalgia and a plate.
But it feels like, I mean, historical type channels are never going to hit the kind
Don't
of
do as
big
well.
time as, it's the fantasy stuff that really gets and the
Yeah,
painting videos and the modelling
Yeah.
videos that get the big numbers. I mean, and then they're a fraction compared to the real big YouTubers who make a decent living out of YouTube.
yeah, and it's crazy because it's like you get some of the model guys that make models, Tamiya models, like 135 scale. They've got like million subs and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they don't. The modeling doesn't ever seem to come across to the wargaming side.
No.
So you've got modelers, and then you've got wargamers. But see, to me, I don't see the point of just building a tank and looking at it. I want to play with it.
No, I know,
That's just me.
and I get a lot of people. I mean, it's there's a couple of guys who I speak to on the chat and what have you. Joachim, who does some absolutely awesome modelling dioramas. I don't know whether you've seen some of his stuff.
Yeah.
They just model for model's sake, and to me, I think, oh, that's a beautiful model. I'd love to get that on the table and play with it, but it's just a different mentality, isn't it? And it's each to their own.
That's the thing. I just want to turn around. I just want to turn around and say, wouldn't that be cool though if you could use that tank to now blow up a Sherman, that Vamper to blow up a Sherman? Well, I've got a rule set that says you can do that. So, and you can crush someone's soul at the same time. And why not? And I don't know. It's just never appealed to me just doing the Airfix models. I know some people love doing them, which is fair play. But I do feel like historical gamers, we're definitely in the minority, especially young historical war gamers. What you would class as younger sort of guys. Like, you wouldn't get a lot of 18, 19-year-olds playing historical, would you? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I reckon if I knew about it back then, I probably would have done, because I'm just weird like that and I love history. But I don't know, really. I don't know.
What about you, Martin? I don't suppose you.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't make any money either out of this, even though you've hit the 1,000 now.
I mean, like I said before, I started YouTube because I couldn't find the video that I wanted, so I thought I'd just make it, basically. And that was, I think everyone was searching for it at the time. Everyone was looking for contrast paints to do with historicals.
Yeah.
So I just made one about painting horses. I had no idea what I was doing. A couple of my mates had always said, "Oh, maybe you should film some stuff and put it up."
Yeah.
I mean, there's a small community of us here. Then we play. I mean, there's 3 or 4 guys that I regularly play with, and then sort of if you widen that out, there's probably about 8, sort of in a wider circle, but that we play with. And it was nice. And then because you go on Facebook and you can sharing things, but with a video you can just share a bit more about your process and why you do things, rather than just a stuck image of say, I don't know, a Napoleonic soldier and then have an argument about the uniform.
Yeah.
So, whereas in the video you can say, oh, the reason I've done it this way is because, I don't know, I don't I don't, so no, I don't make any money out of it at all. I've been sent one thing and I couldn't work out how someone got my address. That was something that I hadn't given anyone my address, and I had a little sprue of 28 the bolt action Germans in the greatcoats.
Oh, right.
And I don't know how they got my address, but I think it might have been because they found me on Facebook, found out where I worked, and then, I don't know, got my address through my work, which I don't know. So,
but then us stuff. Don't send us stuff we don't know about.
Yeah, I was a bit confused. And the only other option, as we know, is the only other thing that could have been is that I got a bit drunk and ordered something.
Which is always possible.
But,
yeah.
There was a because I run my with my business partner. I run a business anyway.
Mhm.
So I don't think I'd want to do this for money, because I do it because I enjoy it. And I think if I started having to look at adverts and revenue and worrying about too much about what content I'm putting up, and if I get sad if I don't get a certain number of views, then I think it'd stop being fun. So
Yeah.
I like doing it this way, basically for me. And if people enjoy that, then great. Obviously, because I know people enjoy the battle reports, I tried to do a few more of those. But I also, because I wanted to do battle reports with less well-known games, I'm going to do some more of those in the future as well. I'm just waiting for this community tab thing to appear.
You've got it. You've
Have
got
I?
it, dude. Yeah, everybody's got it.
No, you don't
You
until you've hit
you've had it.
1,000.
I thought
How many subs you got?
He's got 1,000 now.
1,020 or something at the moment.
So it should be
I
there
got
now.
1,000 during the week. Yeah,
It should be there.
yeah,
Because you can see what I've put. I put up polls and things.
yeah. No, I was waiting to see, because I tried to have a look at it, and they said, it can take up to a week to activate, and then I couldn't or to appear, and I was like just sitting there waiting for it now, basically. So I can.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but
Yeah, it's quite cool because they, you can put polls and things up. It's like, especially like when was it the other week? I know that obviously I've not been doing any battle reports. So I know a lot of my subscribers like bolt action battle reports, but just to be able to give people an input of like, would you got a few ideas of what you could do this weekend, but why don't you tell me what you want to see? I've got time to do either one. So like, that's why they've done the US Airborne, because that won in the poll. So I did that. But I'm doing a terrain video this week, because I think that came second. So I'm going to do a terrain video on Friday.
yeah.
So it's quite nice. But yeah, YouTube do push you towards going to get adverts, definitely.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But I will not click on to that. But I think if I ever wanted to like really make some money or do this as a job, I do what kind of Luke APS has done. Maybe he's got his own separate company, gaming related, alongside, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he does all his basing stuff. So that's kind of made him more famous than the actual these videos now, isn't it? Everyone loves his base running stuff. Really nice. So I don't know, maybe find some little niche in the hobby. I know some people like Squigmire Miniatures. He's bought out some paintbrushes.
Yeah.
And he's going mad with that. But I'm sure you could find anything really. I don't know, specialise in storage or something,
Yeah.
Just something. There's just something to help the hobby. And I like I say, I love my job. Don't get me wrong, especially if my boss is watching. I love my job. But yeah, I would love to just do this as a job, because I don't work for myself, because you're your own boss, really, aren't you? Mine.
Yeah.
So I would love to be my own boss and go that sort of route. Even open a game store, that'd be freaking awesome. I know
We do have game nights in our office occasionally where we push all the stuff together, and then all the desks together, and we'll put some. We had some bolt action games. My business partner, he's got a big Soviet force against my British paras, so we would put stuff together in the office.
Yeah.
Push all the desks together, do that,
Nice.
and then try and remember to put it back to normal by Monday morning.
Yeah. See, that sounds like a company I want to work for.
Yeah. You wouldn't get any work
Do you
done,
have any
mate.
jobs going?
You wouldn't get any work done.
No.
No. Well, I think you're all lying bastards. I'm in it for the wine, women, and song myself, and the fame. That's all I'm after. Yeah, I don't believe a word of it. No, I agree with you entirely. In fact, Peter says, apologies, I didn't word my question right. It was, why do we use YouTube and not another outlet? As it can't be the money. Not sure what that is.
I see. Oh no. Because
I mean, what else could you do it on? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you could stream on
Instagram.
Yeah, you could.
I don't understand Instagram.
No, I'm too old.
I was trying to get my wife to explain it to me.
I've made an account. I've made an Instagram account. I haven't advertised it yet. Dom's a friend follower on it. Good place to put painted miniatures, but again, you can't really do videos on it, can you?
You can, but I don't know what the limitations are with it.
It ain't a 2.5-hour battle report.
No, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. I mean, I used to use Twitch when I did sort of video gaming, and that's kind of good for streaming and actually for posting videos up there. But I don't think you make any more. You don't make money out of it again unless you're in the mega thousands of people.
Yeah, unless you got the big guys, but you're more likely to get donations, I guess.
That's true.
On Twitch, because it's really hard because you don't want to ask people for money, do you? It's like I don't want to ask anyone for money really. I just set that Patreon page up just if anyone wanted to do like a tips jar sort of thing, just to say whatever, and they can get their name mentioned on the video if they wanted to.
Well, it's funny because I thought the same thing. I mean, obviously, you bastards, you're all on 1,000 subs, and I'm not there yet. But I keep thinking about the whole thing about whether I'd enable ads and everything else, and I sort of go between them because I'm the same. I don't really like the ads, and I generally fast forward them all when they come up. But I always thought what I might do is any money that I made, not that it'd be a huge amount, just reinvest it as prizes and giveaways and that sort of thing for the channel. Because I'm fortunate. I don't need money to do the hobby myself. I spend far too much already on it. But to have that money to be able to say, right, here's a box of figures to give away this week or what have you, would be wonderful. And I did the same with the Patreon page. I set one up for the same thing, and I thought, if I ever got to that scale, I could start doing some sort of special things for patrons. Just battle reports, or the guys in Norway, is it Tabletop somewhere or other, they used to do a really good Patreon. They seem to have died a bit lately, but they used to do a really good Patreon system where they do battle reports that the patrons could see 6 months before anybody else, and so
they're 6 months ahead on their videos.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, I would love to be like that.
So they would show that video live, and then 6 months later it would go on YouTube for everybody to see. And that was kind of cool. I thought that was really good. And it was, because I thought their videos were fantastic. I really enjoyed it. So I was a Patreon for a little while, and then stopped doing bolt action, started doing some really weird stuff, so I didn't like that so much, so I stopped.
But you know what? That's a really good idea, Dom. That's the only way I could justify doing that for Patreon, really, thinking about it. If I did proper Patreon. Would be because I want the content to be available for everybody. But even if you did not 6 months, but maybe a month in advance, or a week in advance, or something like that, they get it early. That's it. As long as the content became free, I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, and they used to do clever things like when they were doing battle reports, they'd have they'd name officers in the game after some of the patrons. So they had, if they were a certain level, you could get, a unit that was you in the battle, and they put a little flag on it, and it was all that kind of interaction that got people really interested in it. And I thought that kind of thing's really clever because, again, it's about the thing I love about doing all this is the community stuff and the involvement and chatting with people, and all those sort of things help to bring everybody together, and you have a bit of a laugh with people, and you have that banter that you have when you play people for real. You can sort of bring into a virtual world, it's Ken's dwarf that always gets killed. Let's name this one because he's always the one that dies first. That kind of stuff, which is obviously what's going to happen. Elston Nation here. Hiya, mate. How you doing? Elston's here. He's talking about serious streamers and gamers. He's one of those, part of the Chilling War Games group. If you ever get a chance, I'm not wearing your t-shirt tonight. Sorry, mate. But they do some really good streams as well. But I don't know.
I think I might get. I might get some t-shirts made up. Just for me and Liam. just for the channel. I haven't thought about doing that.
I did look into once getting some dice done, and they were bloody expensive to get your logo put on them. They were really
like 30 quid. I was
wow.
Like, hang on a minute. But no, I don't know. It's nice as well. We get, as YouTubers, we do get a little bit of privilege, don't we? So we get stuff sent to us. I've had stuff sent, but I reach out to these people. They don't, I just ask and I have a look at it.
Yeah.
And I say, if I give it a review, I'll give it a review. And they don't pay me any money or anything like that. But we also, we were going to go to Salute, weren't we, Dom?
Mm-hmm.
We had press passes for Salute, so we're going to get to go a day early and speak to like traders and stuff. And obviously, Joe, you know, and anybody else can't really do it because obviously they want coverage of thingy. But I feel like sometimes we do put in some hard work and things to do videos. Yeah. I spent like 12 hours once editing a video that's only like 2 hours long.
Oh yeah, I mean,
just for people to watch it.
It's a lot of work, and I don't think people who don't do it realise quite how much is involved in it. And to get videos out, make sure you've got regular content. It's hard work. I do enjoy doing
definitely.
it. Yeah, I wouldn't like to say it's
I love it. But that's the whole reason behind, like, you know, I do giveaways and stuff. I've given away quite a fair bit thinking about it. And there's a brand new box Continental there. You just got to come into my chat and put Continental. Leave Dom's chat.
You bastard. You're stealing all my subscribers. You steal all the goodies that they want to give you, and you're bleeding in my chat.
Look at the crack. Look at it. Look at that crack.
How do I get rid of him?
That crack could be yours.
That crack could be that.
And you got the British one up there as well. So all you got to do is come in the chat and type in British or Continental, and at the end, towards the thing, I will pick a winner for each. So, and they will be sent to you. I don't even charge you postage. That's how good I am. I even pay the postage.
Oh dear. Elston's cringing at being called a serious streamer. You are, mate. You bloody are. I bet they're more serious than we are, that's for sure. But well done. King Matt the Superior's here. Hiya, Matt. Yeah. How you doing, mate? Good to see you tonight.
Hello, mate.
So the other question Leslie had, which I thought was an interesting one, and I'm going to plead the fifth or whatever on this one, is do you have a budget for your hobby?
That's a very interesting question.
Probably you don't want to say this one, Martin, with Hayley sitting there, do you?
Well, no. I came up with the idea of basically I flog stuff on eBay, like lots of old armies. Like I've got a whole Empire army. I'm going to be chucking up on there. But like,
hello, Brian. Yeah. before you sell it, give me a message, mate.
But I basically said because that basically whatever money I make through eBay is my hobby budget. That's what I said, and then reality was different because I've got this little sort of like envelope of like cash. Not that I have cash lying around the house for anyone. No one knows where I live anyway, but well, someone does.
Someone does who sent you a freebie.
That was the idea. What tends to happen though is because I got it in cash, I order things on the internet and think, right, I'll take the cash back for that, and I don't, and I just leave it. I've just got a pile of cash that sits there until Salute, and then that's like my little Salute fund. I don't have sort of any really expensive hobbies, and I don't actually consider this a really expensive hobby when I compare it to say some of my friends who have like
snowboarding,
gym memberships and like gym equipment in their houses, or you know, one of them, you know, they go to, well, back when they could, they'll go to every footy match. Well, that's not
oh
cheap.
my Christ, that is expensive.
Season tickets, you know, or even my friends that smoke. You know, I'm like, then how much are you spending a week?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not spending that. That's so budget wise, I probably spend a month. Probably between 50 to 100 quid, maybe not even that. It depends if I actually buy a box of models. When I go to like a show or something, obviously I'll take a lot more money, and most of my purchases tend to be there. And then that keeps me going for quite a long time. I've got a whole box.
I'm trying to do that, but this year has epically failed due to a certain virus, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I think that's kind of done it for everyone. That's kind of just out the window.
No, exactly. No, me in the past for budget for hobby, I'm not gonna lie. I've spent probably 800 quid 1 month on hobby stuff.
Wow.
Once, easily 1 month. Don't ever go with Games Workshop, kids.
I was going to say that would buy about 3 space. What's it? Or something like that.
There you go. You walk in with 800 quid, and you'll walk out with no soul.
That's very
the devil will have you. Yeah. They don't just stand at that door and just invite you in for niceties. It's really funny because I've got like I call it is like a bait in these because we're talking on Facebook and stuff in one of our old Hammer chat groups. I won't name him, but he's a manager at one of the Games Workshop stores.
Yeah.
And I just love it because obviously I'm always ripping on Games Shop, and he's one of the managers there. The subject never arises. We just like talking about old Hammer, but he's into his bolt action and things like that, which is really cool. You're thinking you like it something else apart from Games Workshop?
Are you
sure?
Don't they sort of? Don't you throw you out of the the store if you do that? God damn.
But yeah, no, it's no. It's, yeah, I did spend a lot of money, but recently, well, I've only spent last month. What did I buy last month? Did I buy anything last month? I didn't buy anything last month. And this month I've spent about 25, 30 quid. It's the models. It's the problem. I've stopped buying models, or like loads of models. I've stopped that plastic pile of shame because I've seen it and I've seen this, and this is a little bit of a tangent. What time is it? No, we're good. I've got 5-10 minutes to talk about this. Obviously, Dom, you've accrued your collection over what? 20, 25 years?
25 years, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen these things on Facebook and some of these groups, and they've got like, the plastic Tupperware boxes, the big ones, like big storage things, 50 litres, 100 litres.
Yeah.
It's literally just full of sealed models and about 20 boxes worth.
Yeah.
And I literally think to myself that you can see 4 sets of this limited edition box set, and it's like no one else has got it. And I'm thinking, why have you bought 4 of those? And you've blatantly just said in your post, look at all my collection, I've got to get round to start doing it. And I'm thinking, why did you buy 4 for a start of the limited edition box set that people really want? And why are you keeping that much sealed in the box? At least open the box and have a look at the plastic. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I had to get rid of it all. I had to get rid of like that stuff that I knew that I wasn't going to paint because it was going to drive me nuts. Because it's just money sitting there wasted. But I tell you what, everyone, you two would agree with this. There is nothing better than buying a model when you're at a shop or at a show. There's nothing better than standing there and looking at it and thinking, oh yeah, that's going to look so good. And it just doesn't turn around to fruition, does it? Sometimes, and it just drives me nuts that I see all these posts and people are like, loads and loads and loads, like 20 grand's worth of models just sat there, and I'm thinking, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it now. That would just drive me bonkers because I want to play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know exactly what you mean.
But if it's painted, if he's got 20 grand's worth of stuff that's painted and sat there and it looks beautiful all over the walls and but no, I couldn't do it now. Because the majority of your stuff's painted, Dom, innit? You got loads of painted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the vast majority is. I mean,
You're always painting something.
I'm always painting something, and I, I mean, I'm prepared. Obviously, I have a problem with buying figures and stuff. I can't stop. But then, I'm like you say, Martin. I don't have that many other hobbies. I'm in a fortunate position where I earn a good salary and work hard for it, and I don't do much else besides gaming, and so it's my outlet. It's what I enjoy. It's what I do. So that's my my hobby. I do other things as well, but it's this is the thing that gets me. But I even said that, I don't think I spend a massive amount each month. I mean, I regularly spend money, and some months I go, oh, blimey, I did overdo that a bit. But
it takes a lot, doesn't it, Dom, to spend a lot of money in this hobby, doesn't it? Especially with historicals.
It does with historicals, I think. If you go into the fantasy world, then that's a different kettle of fish, right? What was that new one that they launched this week? Was it 200 quid for the box set or something? The Games Workshop put out.
9th edition 40k. 9th edition 40k.
Yeah, 200
quid.
Yeah,
that can go and have a finger shoved right up its bum.
So I think that's. So I think, who was it here? Peter said, Dom no, Ken yes, Martin yes. That's very rude. But I think we're all kind of about the same. We would have budgets. I think it's. I wouldn't actually put a number to what I'd spend each month.
But I know if I'm spending a stupid amount. It's like, I'm telling you now, right? I really want the the Army Painter complete collection set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 250 quid. And I really, really want it. But I know that I've got a good paycheck coming up this month. And I'm like, do I buy it? But then I look at myself and I stop myself and I think, yes, it would look cool. Yes, it would be awesome to have all those colours. But do I need it? No, I don't need it right this second. But if I move into a studio, then that may get a purchase because it would be very nice to have it all laid out.
Yeah.
All the colours that I'm ever going to need, a complete range of paints, which I can say I've got actually because I've got all the contrast paints.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things which will probably get purchased as part of all the money budgeted in for a summer house and things like that. But I'm talking like 3 or 4 years away. I'm not talking like 5 minutes. I'm talking years. But that will go into a big purchase, not just an off-the-cuff purchase. Or if they do a sale on a Black Friday and it goes down by like 60, 70 quid, then yeah, that would be getting snapped up immediately. But it would be nice though, wouldn't it, just to have a complete range of paints to know that you've got everything. It would definitely be nice. But then where do you stop?
Well, that is
that's the next question, isn't it?
Okay,
Where
talking
do you
about
actually
next
stop
question. This is an absolute cracker that Elston. See, it's worth having a proper streamer here in the chat. He's quality come through here. So he said, here's a question to think about. If YouTube put one of your videos on their homepage and it boosted your subs by 30,000, would you consider quitting your job and doing this full time?
Would it what? Sorry.
So if YouTube boosted your video so much you got 30,000 subs overnight, to the point where you could actually make some proper money out of it, would you quit your job to do it full time?
If YouTube did it so that I could have a salary that's half decent, yeah?
Yeah.
That I could live how I live now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd quit tomorrow. I'd phone up and say, here's my 4 weeks notice. But that's only because I don't work for myself. If I worked for myself, that'd probably be a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah. I'm sure it'd be interesting if I went to work one day and went, sorry everybody, I'm closing everything
Yeah,
down.
you're the boss. Sorry, you can't do that.
So this has happened. So just so you know, I don't need you guys anymore. I just need these little plastic men, and that's gonna.
You're now made redundant, and
unless you want to come and play games with me, in which case I'm the thing is, I'm very, because I don't have like an upload schedule or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't do it.
I try to do one video a week if I can, but I don't put any pressure on myself to do it because I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to, something to have fun with. And the moment it becomes a chore, it stops being fun for me. I don't want to. I enjoy painting models, and I do a bit of painting. Probably I paint at least every other night, if not every night. And I don't want to just suddenly have to, sort of find time to do things, and stress around it with personal life as well. Because, I've got, with a business, I've got two daughters, and I find this as a bit of a release. And I think if it suddenly became my profession, even if I did get all those subs and, it was a possibility, I think that I would potentially start disliking it or thinking that I've got to do content on things that I don't enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
Like maybe because I do play for it. Well, I haven't played 40k. I played Kill Team recently, but I've got all the stuff. But to make you want to maintain all those subscribers as well, because people can just unsubscribe if you're not putting out the content that they want. And so what would I have to expand to? If all of a sudden there was a massive interest in, I don't know, Napoleonic or historical medieval wargaming, and brilliant, but you've got to keep on coming up with new, fresh stuff, and that also relies on the manufacturers keep on coming up with new things. I mean, part of the draw on games like the Games Virtual Games and Infinity is that they have a regular output of models per month.
Yeah.
Whereas, say with like Warlord or Perry or Foundry, they'll here's the Austrian cavalry set this month, and here's the Prussian cavalry, which like Warlord have just announced next month.
Yeah.
It's not like a regular. You're going to get stuff all the time. So I think you'd have to diversify quite a lot to keep people interested.
Nice. And that's the thing, is the balancing act then as well, because I've made that little bit of that mistake because obviously I've done quite a few videos on little things that I enjoy and stuff, and obviously I pick subscribers up on the way and things, and I feel like sometimes I do have to do the odd video of, say, I like playing Epic and I like doing Epic, so I haven't done a lot of Epic. I've done about 4 or 5 videos on it over the last year, but I always feel like it's only fair because I've pulled some people across from because they want to see a bit of Epic content. Occasionally I'll do it because I enjoy playing Epic. That's the other beauty thing. I won't ever do content on stuff that I don't enjoy doing.
No.
That is a big mistake. That is definitely a big mistake.
Well, that's when you probably got to the point that you're saying, right, I'm doing this for the wrong
reason.
But I'm doing this.
But your subscribers would know that, wouldn't they? They'll see the quality and they'll know that it's not what they come for you. They come to watch you for whatever reason they come to watch you, right? And
you hear the excitement in your voice, don't you, and things like that. It's little tones and
if it becomes
bits and bobs, you can tell when someone's generally excited.
Precisely. I mean, I would. I mean, I'm in a different situation to both you guys because I'm a lot older and I'm fortunate my kids are older and leaving home and all that, and we're getting towards the stage where we're actually starting to slow down, want to look at sort of retirement options almost, not fully retire, but slow down. So if I got to that situation, I'd love it because I would literally just stop and I would do this full-time quite happily.
Love life.
Yeah, because I would just game and I'd probably start a little mail order business, because I did sort to Warlords some time ago about how you do that, and you can't make a huge living out of it, but you could make a little bit, and play games, stream stuff. That would be fantastic. I'd do it full time like a shot. But I think for most people, I think that again, I used to do some computer game videoing and stuff like that, and people always talked about you missed the golden era of when that was you could seriously make some money out of make a living as a YouTuber or a streamer, and I think these days I just couldn't see it happening. I think it would always just be fun. It'd always have to be fun, otherwise why would you do it really? But it's a good thought. Yeah. I'd love the idea. Someone's just said one day you don't need to ever work again, and you can just go and play your hobby all the time. And
that's why I put a lot of money in my pension each month.
Exactly right, Ken. Absolutely right. Yeah. So I mean, it's time for us to tell our big surprise for next week because it's 20 minutes to go.
What time is it?
22.
Give me an extra minute. Just want to ramble about one more thing.
Go on then. You ramble about something else then, and then there's a big surprise.
No, it's just about this. It's like I've put a lot of pressure on myself with I've done like the Stalingrad board build and stuff like that, and obviously during the COVID stuff and things, I've not been able to really do many videos because one, I haven't had the time because I've been working like mad because I'm in telecoms, so at the minute telecoms is like really key for infrastructure and things, and it's just been so busy and stuff. And those when I'm filming those videos, those board builds, they take all day to film. They take like an hour to start up, an hour to pack away.
Yeah.
But I need to get part 5 done. In the back of my head, I know that I need to get part 5 done. Part 5 needs to be done, and I've kind of put myself under pressure for it. And it's a shame, really, because I said to myself when I started this, I wouldn't put myself under pressure.
Yeah.
A bit like what you said, Martin. But I put myself into a state of where I said I'm going to upload twice a week. So I'll do a video on a Monday with you guys, but I'll upload on a Saturday. And sometimes I just physically can't make that, and I feel like I let people down with it. It'd be an interesting poll, actually. I might even put that on the community tab. How do you feel if I didn't upload every week? Would you mind that if the content was still the same, or would you?
The content's the same and the content's good, then people. I think given the community that's here, people will sort of understand that and sort of be happy. Because I'd rather put out good content and like the battle reports. I'd rather put out a good battle report that I've sat and like worked on or the time that we got to, rather than rush one and get the stuff out and then it's half-assed and then you put it out there and then you're like, actually, I wish I hadn't done that now.
No, I could do it a lot better, Yeah. There's an interesting one for the chat. I'll ask you that. Would you prefer content to be a bit less, so maybe once every other week, or if I skip a week out every now and then, would you mind, or would you prefer to see a video every week? I'll put a poll up for it as well. see what it says with that. But yeah, but that's my little bit of a ramble.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Oh, it's good. No, I think it's a good point, Ken. And I think that at the end of the day, none of us are making any money out of this. It's all part of our fun time. I think it's we do all this, have a laugh, and if you think we started this stream, Ken, because we wanted just to have something, because we thought people might be a bit
have a chat, didn't we?
Just have a chin wag, and we thought there'd be a load of other people like us who were just like, oh my god, what do? I can't see my mates every week that I used to game with, and and it's actually been great fun that way, because funny enough, there's loads of us out here all doing the same stuff, all stuck.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because we would never have spoken to Martin, we would never have spoken to Steve, we wouldn't have spoken to.
I think we had Leon on, and we had other people. It's been great.
Liam, you got Gumbo.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So it's one of those things. I have got a guy that wants to come on as well. Mark, who lives by me, he owns his own painting. He owns his own business for hobby supplies and stuff. So we'll have to get him on one weekend. I did, because I said you needed a webcam and stuff, but I've since learnt, Mark, because I know he's watching it right now because he's talking to me in the chat, that you can come on with your phone. You can come on with your phone, mate. So the video does come on. So the invite is there, buddy. So if you want to come on, just send me another message on Facebook and we'll organise it for a future date, definitely. Because it'd be nice to have someone that actually owns like a retail outlet.
Yeah, that'd be good to hear, wouldn't it? Paul says in the chat, just do what you can, Ken, is what he says, and I think that's all you can ever do. Just do what you can.
Yeah.
Never feel pressure
that's
on
it.
yourself.
And I think otherwise it's burnout time, which I've been feeling, and I don't want to feel burnout time. I want to paint. But that's it. But yeah, cheers for that, guys. But yeah, Dom, this is your massive reveal.
No, I'm not going to take my clothes off anyway.
It's up to you. Do you want me to do my giveaway first, or do you want to do
that
now?
your giveaway. Do your giveaway, because that's important.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look.
Oops.
Maybe not next week, Mark. Maybe the week after. We'll tell you why in a minute. Right. So. Okay. So. Right. The winner of the Continentals is Alpha 7563.
Well done.
And the winner of the English is Duncan FX.
Hey, good job.
There you go. Hey. So if you come over to the Miniature Wargaming Warriors Facebook group, there should be a link in one of my videos, or possibly actually there's a link in here. You come over there and then send me a message. So click on the Miniature Wargaming Warriors, wherever I've typed something, just send me a personal message, and I shall get those sent out to you. So yeah, just give me a message on there. Happy days.
Well done, you.
But yeah, so Dom. Yeah, well done, guys. Well done.
They're good box sets, both of those. They're really good box sets.
Yeah, you're going to need to, because Martin's very excited about this.
Martin was so excited when we told him earlier. He was like, I've never seen him go, what? So anyway, big reveal for next week. So next week we have Hobby Royalty coming on the show, and it's not just Ken wearing his dwarf outfit. This is proper Hobby Royalty. We have
real royalty.
Michael Perry from Perry Miniatures is joining the stream next Monday night. So there you go. I want to see everyone's faces drop. Oh. What the shit? So yeah, Michael Perry, Perry Twins fame, said he would be happy to pop on. Don't know how long he's going to be on for us. Probably about an hour, but we may persuade him to stay longer. But yeah, so any questions you have, store them up. And hopefully we can throw them at Michael next week and give him a decent interview. So, yeah, really, really excited. I told Ken the other day and he went, what? How did you get him? I said, I just asked him. And he said, yes. So there you go. I just asked him. He said, yes. So, yeah.
Just don't start sending him loads of messages saying.
So Michael Perry will be
on one-to-one chat.
So for those who don't know, he is the godlike figure in the hobby in terms of sculpting. If you look at pretty much all the decent sculpts going back for the last, I don't know how many years he's been in the hobby, but a long time. Him and his brother have been responsible for a good proportion of them.
These beautiful Bretonians are some of them.
So they are real quality stuff.
These
so I will
lovely.
I'll advertise it, and also we can, anybody's got any questions they want to send in, we'll put a link for people to send those in. But yeah, next
Yeah.
week, Michael Perry. I'm still looking at Martin grinning over there.
I can't get it. I can't believe it personally.
So there you go.
I think it's fucking nuts when he told me. I was like, what? Michael Perry from the Perry Twins? He was like, yeah. I was like, I just had to stop for a second, and I thought, yeah, but he's like a hobby god. And I was like, and I told him, the funny story is what you said when you said about telling your family, and I told my girlfriend, and she was like, who's that?
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
said, imagine David Beckham in the football world for miniatures, and she was like, so he's quite a famous guy. Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah, it's one of those things
Just-
that
just
you're
a
in
tad.
trouble as a hobbyist when you tell people a name like that, and everyone in the hobby goes, "Wow, wow, wow."
Yeah.
Everyone outside the hobby goes, "Why? What? Who? What's that matter?" But yeah,
Who's
so
that?
there
Who's
you
that?
go. So I hope he's going to be a good guest. I'm sure he will. I mean, he's just an awesome fellow. It's funny, somebody was talking about his gaming room the other week, earlier on in the chat.
Yeah, just now. Yeah, we had to keep stum about it.
Yeah.
Have you seen his gaming room? We were literally talking about this before we come on stream.
I'm
We're like, imagine if he's in his gaming room.
Wouldn't that
Imagine
be
if it's
fantastic?
both of them.
Oh, wouldn't it be brilliant? Yeah, yeah. So there you go.
Oh my
Store it
God.
up. Any questions you got, let us know. We'll put a link up. I'll put a link in the chat and what have you for people to send questions in, or just fire them in next week when we're on the chat. And hopefully he'll be able to answer
Yeah.
as much as we possibly can throw at him, and we can hold on to him for a bit more than an hour. Hopefully, that'd be fabulous. So there you go.
Oh, he's never spoke to me, so you never know.
Yeah, he'll probably be gone after
We
10
managed
minutes.
we managed to we managed to keep oh God, I've forgotten his name already.
Dave.
You know what I mean.
Dave.
Dave, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
From Offensive Miniatures on for 2 hours, and he said he didn't realise how quick it went, did he?
No, exactly.
So
it's amazing sitting here talking all
be
this trash for a while.
interesting to see. But yeah, well, we still got 15 minutes, guys.
We have,
We've still
mate.
got 15
So let me
minutes.
ask another question then. So actually, it's funny having Elston on here earlier, and you just talked about it just now as well. But they were doing a session about hobby burnout, and
Yeah.
how do you
I know that
avoid
feels.
hobby burnout? How do you stop yourself having a hobby? You were saying Liam's having a bit of a hobby burnout.
Yeah, Liam, if you're watching this, mate, come back to the hobby soon. He's having a bit of a burnout at the moment. He's had enough of painting rats and Russians. He's just driving him a bit nuts at the moment. He's does this occasionally. He's told me in the past where he'll go off the hobby for a little while and then he'll come back and he'll be really into it. But he'll still play games. So I have a game with Liam on this Friday actually. With obviously social distancing and all that jazz. But there should be a battle report coming up soon, next couple of weeks after I've edited it.
Nice.
But yeah, that first one in like what 4 or 5 months now for bolt action it is. So all bolt action fans, fingers up, or thumbs I should say, not fingers. But yeah, he's just going through a bit. He's just going through a bit of a stage at the minute. Obviously, just happens to us, doesn't it? I went through a stage before I went on holiday. I had a week of I didn't touch really anything.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of painting, but I played. I've got to admit, my other love is video gaming, and I've got my virtual reality headset here.
Yeah.
And I play Elite Dangerous. On the chair I'm sitting right now, actually, I'll probably just show you. I've got HOTAS, so I'm in space and I'm just flying around, scanning planets and things. I tend to do that to get my little fix, get something a bit different, and then all of a sudden, after about 3 or 4 days, I get a bit of an itch, and I go, "Ooh, I need to be painting. What should I be painting?" I leave it another couple of days. And I go, "No, I really need to start painting now." And then by a week and a half or so, I was like, "Yeah, when I get back, I seriously need to paint something." And I've come back, and I don't know if it's kind of a godsend, really, that the at Dwarf video got corrupted, because it meant I could just paint these dwarfs at my own pace, because doing a time lapse, obviously, you want to do 2 or 3 hour sessions at a time, and not just 10 minutes. And I was finding it really difficult at times to paint them. But yeah, just I feel like just if you need a break sometimes, do something else that may be a little bit hobby related, like read a rule book or have a little scour on the internet for some new rules, do a bit of history. I I'll tell you what, if you're in your historical World War II stuff, I've linked you in so many times, Dom, and I bet you still haven't watched him. Mark Felton Productions
I have.
is World War
I
II.
have. Is that worse than
Excellent.
my wife? You are. Bloody hell.
He's to watch some of his stuff really gets you in the mood for like World War II.
Yeah.
Really does, and it's like, oh, I'd love to do, because he does all those obscure units and stuff like that, and you think, oh yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing. I could paint me some of those. But yeah, if you need a break, you need a break, don't you? Take it back, dial it back a notch. If you need a week away, do it. But my mate Ian actually has just joined the chat, who I've known for years now, and who I video game with. He's put hiding from Fargo. He's part of Elite Dangerous. But what about yourselves, guys? What do you do? What do you do, mine? If you have a bit of burnout, because if you paint a lot.
To avoid painting burnout, I alternate what I'm painting. So
Yeah.
I did the Native Americans, then I did Wars of the Roses. Now I'm going back and I'm painting some French.
Do you do that? Do you do that? Do you do the whole project at a time, or do you like what Monday you'll do War of the Roses, Wednesday you might do?
I paint. Yeah, I paint one thing to completion, and like that command base. I do that to completion. Usually,
Yeah.
I'll spray paint like some other stuff at the same time, or I'll do the basing on someone else at the same time while I got all the stuff out. And then I'll move on, and I want to do something different, you know. But I alternate it, so and that way I kind of kick out. You know, I finish projects kind of about the same time, but I get it as well. Like, you know, sometimes I mean, I've had it. I think the last time I had a big sort of burnout, there was about a 3-month period where I didn't do anything at all.
Never been that long.
But that was quite a while ago. That was a long time ago. That was when my eldest daughter was born. And,
you can imagine a
now,
burnout then.
Yeah, and now I look at things going, God, I had the time to not be. And I can't even. But the thing is I sit back and I think, like, what did I actually do? What did I do with that time? I can't remember it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Now I'll be like, or instead, if I'm painting units, because a lot of the game as historical, doing historical stuff, we paint a lot of units. We do a lot.
10-man section or something like that. Yeah.
I'll paint, say something like, I've got these models, these Bushido models, which is another game that I love, but I've got some cool looking like samurai kind of guys to paint.
Completely different to the guys you're doing at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, so I'll do something like that, or I'll paint some big monster for Lord of the Rings, or you know, something like that. I'll do something. I play a lot of pen and paper role playing games, which hopefully as soon as we can sort of like safely play again, you know, as long as it's not raining, we'll go outside and sort of socially distance and do it. So I use the terrain I build in wargaming. I build up little sets for us to use in that, and I'll build something like that. Like, are they gonna? Yeah. I don't know. They're gonna fight on top of a mountain, so I made this entire sort of like mountainscape with a white dragon on the top of it from the Reaper miniatures. I'll just do something completely different.
Yeah.
But like you said, read a rule book. Like I bought a new rule book this week actually, which was that one, which is a World War II.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Operation Squad.
No, Who does that?
It's Italian. It's by a guy called Massimo Toriani, and I looked at it before, but basically it's really small skirmish. So you'll have like 10 men if you're lucky.
Right.
And
that sounds interesting.
It works on a sort of an activation system whereby you roll 2d6 per guy, plus there's a value called their tactical value. You add it, and then they go in descending order. But you have to announce what their intention is before you roll for initiative. So you have to say, for example, if you said, right, my American guy is going to run across the street, and I'd counter-react to say, well, my sniper up in that building is going to shoot him. Yeah. And then you could counter-react to say, well, another guy's going to put down smoke, and you can do up to 3 models. Then you roll to see what order they actually go off in. So your guy, my sniper my guy might go before yours.
I like that.
The sniper, which means he can hold his shot till your guy runs across. But if your guy goes across before my sniper, I don't get the shot. The smoke could go down, and you play. But there's a little experience system in it to upgrade and play a little campaign with. Vehicles are brutal in it. If you come across even a half track, it will rip you to shreds.
Sounds like the kill team of World War II.
Yeah, well, I looked at that. I was talking to Steve about it last week about the bolt action firefight rules, but they didn't quite go as far as I wanted for a small scale. You could play this on a 2x2 and make a really nice. Yeah, you can make a really nice blown up village.
Yeah.
And make that. I mean the
really gateway into World War II, then, isn't it? Real gateway. Yeah.
Or something completely different. Instead of like thinking, bolt action, which I love. I've got a Red Devils army. No, I don't want to get it all out, but you could get Pegasus Bridge and just put that on the board, just that one bridge, or something very simple. There's an 88, and you've got to go take out an 88 in the position
behind a farmhouse.
Yeah, then that's it.
Yeah.
So, but the book comes with it's all in here. It's got 4 armies in it, 3 different lists for each army. So it's got Fallschirmjäger, Panzer Grenadiers and Grenadiers, the Germans, assault squads, rifle squads and guard squads for the Russians, Red Devils, commandos and fusiliers for the Brits, and airborne rangers and infantry for the Americans. It goes a lot more into weapon types, like a lot. It's really easy to die. If you get hit, then it's really easy for your models to sort of like get put out of action. But it's just something a bit different. So that's something I do. I'll just buy
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it, Dom?
I seen your face there, Ken. You just thought,
where did you get it from, Mike?
I got it from North Star Games. There's not a lot of content about it, so I was going to do a video on it because it's the fact that you don't need loads of models. Also, it's something that I think my wife might play, maybe.
Okay. I can see a reflection now.
So she's but yeah, the fact is you could just do 3 whatever, like 3 just German grenadiers, those ones that came free on the magazine in the coats, the ones that got sent to me. You could just have 3 or 4 of them and just chuck in 2 commandos who've got to go and get the prisoner out or something.
Do you know what's crazy? Between 3 mates, right, you could do, or 4 mates, you could each buy a box set. You could each paint a box set, or 3 mates, you could each paint a box set up, so 30 guys, and then you each give each other 10 of each, and then you've got an army for each.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't need you do not need.
So you'd have 3 different armies for 30 quid.
I know it's
or 20 quid or whatever it is. That's crazy.
I was looking at that 148.
There's no other expansions. It's just an all-in-one book. So I just thought that'll do. I'll give that a go. It might be completely different when I play it. I might be sort of go, oh no, this doesn't
it doesn't hit the spot.
Work. But from what I've read, it.
I'm not gonna lie, Dom. But I might buy that rule set for when we come up. When I come up to yours, just to have a small game or something. Be ideal. That's crazy. That sounds so good.
As a pre-game before your bolt action game, you could do. I think I said to Steve last week. You could do something like if you're trying to take out the 88. Say you roll a scenario up and I don't know, the one you're rolling up, the Germans, for example, are going to be assaulting the British. You could do a scenario beforehand where the British send out a squad, and if you take out the 88, then in the big game they don't get their preparatory bombardment, or they don't.
Oh my God! What are you doing to me?
Oh, you've got him hooked.
Sounds so good.
Or if you get a spy out, when you do your preparatory bombardment, you get to re-roll your hits because you know where the enemy positions are. Stuff like that.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Because there's a little campaign.
But you could play kill the. If there's a spy in it, you could play kill the spy.
Yeah.
If the spy's going to get captured or assassinated.
That's one of the scenarios in there. Yeah.
Oh my God! Or you could even play like there's a scenario in the rule book and bolt action where the half track's destroyed. You could play whether the half track is destroyed. Oh my God!
There's rules in this for actually throwing grenades as well, like lobbing a grenade over a wall rather than just as part of the assault phase, or you can actually lob grenades as a.
Add to cart. How much is it, mine? How much is that book?
20 quid. But it's a complete game. There's nothing else. They even. This is quite cool. I remember when games used to do this. They've got these are all cards, so you can
pop them out,
punch them out, and then in the back of the play sheets, that are just all.
How long does it say a game takes, though?
It takes. depending on size, so a 700-point game is a starting game, and that will be like a squad of say 10 guys. It says anything from sort of 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
That is pretty interesting. What about you, Dom? With your burnout?
Do you know? Weirdly enough, I genuinely don't get burnout. And
You're one of the lucky ones.
I think I am. I think. I mean, I do the same as Martin. Really, I have switch up. I've got loads of projects on the go, loads of different periods I want to fight. It's. I find it really just keeping things different makes so much of it. It just keeps me going all the time, and because I game, because I paint and I do all the figures because I want to game. It's driven by the game. So at the moment, I'm really excited by Muskets and Tomahawks. So, Martin was talking about the Perry civilians. I've just painted up a load of them, and I've got a whole load more Muskets and Tomahawk guys I've got to paint up. I bought from North Star the other day just to sort of build up my force a bit more. I'm really interested in the Infamy rules, so I've been obsessively building up that because hopefully next week we'll have a game of Infamy, which I'm really excited about. So that kind of just keeps me enthusiastic. Meanwhile, I've still got all the Prussians, all the Portuguese I need to do for the Sharp Practice Army I've built up. Yeah. So there's always things I'm working on, and that doesn't even get me to go into the garage and start rebasing all the old figures and touching them up and improving them. No. So I generally don't get that much. I mean, I did like you, Martin. I had a hiatus of about 8 years, I suppose, where I stopped gaming, but that was more because the mates there were 3 of us that used to game every week, and we in my garage, ironically, and they moved away, moved to different parts of the country just because life changed and what have you, and so I lost those mates, and then my kids were sort of young teenagers, probably a bit earlier than that. And I just found I just sort of never had time for the hobby, and which was stupid, really. So that was the only time I stopped. Other than that, I game and I paint and I model all the time. It's what I do. It's what I love. But switching it up, I think that's the thing I've always done, just by having different things on the go all the time.
Yeah. I definitely think what you guys have said, especially switching it up, is definitely what I'm going to start doing. But I did think of a really good idea. Was like you get all these odd models. Like now, I've got some Lord of the Rings stuff sitting next to me here. I've got my boats. I've got some Bretonians. I've got my dwarfs. But the dwarfs are one big project for me. So they will stay. Like if I'm going to do a unit, I'll do 20 of them. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But what I might do is I might get a load of brown bags, small brown bags. Put each model in a brown bag, put it in a big bucket. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And if I pull a bucket, if I say for example I put one of these dwarves in the bag, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If I pull that dwarf out, I've got to paint all 20 of them. Yeah. Or if I've got individual models, like I've got some rats or one of the boats or something, I've got to paint that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to be painting next. I've been thinking about doing this today, and I think I might actually do it, because then as well I haven't got the channel's going to have a variety of things coming up on it. I'm going to be doing this one week, that another week, then it's a bit more evenly spread, and I think I might do that. I genuinely think I might do that, and it might convince me to paint stuff that I haven't thought about painting for a long time. So I think I might do that. I'm going to give that a go.
It's a good idea.
And,
it's a good idea. I mean, anything that will keep you motivated and break up the routine. I mean, it's like anything, right? If things become a routine, then they're less enjoyable. So it's got to be something that's going to be enjoyable to you. And if that's the way if that's what makes you want to get on with the hobby and do what you need to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. I mean, I think, if people want to take a break and, that's the way they operate best, to recharge and come back to it refreshed, then do it. I mean, don't force yourself to do anything. At the end of the day, we're talking about this as it's not a business. It's not somebody's. We're not making a living out of this. This is supposed to be fun, and if it ain't fun, don't bother. you know.
It's a little bit harder for us being YouTubers because it's nice that people are following us and stuff like that, and they want to see content. I couldn't imagine not doing a video or something like that. It might not be a painting video, but I might do a rules book overview or something like that. Like that's that German Army showcase was. That turned into massive video. I thought that was going to be really quick. I was I was extremely wrong about that.
But don't you
'cause
find
I really
that
enjoyed,
some
I
videos
really enjoyed
just
doing it?
some videos just pop out really easy, don't they? I mean, you just literally
Oh,
sit
don't they
down
just?
and you just think, oh, how that how the hell did that take that quick? How did it not take that long to do? And it was so simple to do, and the others just seem to take
That
forever.
US Airborne I did. That US Airborne, he took literally less than 10 minutes to paint,
Yeah.
and he looks amazing. I'm really, really impressed with it. And everyone keeps telling me in the chat that I got, like in the comments, that I got the uniform colour for D-Day spot on with contrast paints, which I'm pretty sure I have, because it's that like green tinge to it.
Yeah.
And I used a bit of that Plague Bearer flesh, Dom, and that was from your idea for what you were doing with your orc skin.
With me orcs, yeah.
And I mixed it with some Agros Dunes or Skeleton Horde.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
have to watch the video to find out which one it was. And it just gave it a green tinge, and it worked perfectly. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking about doing that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna put it all in a bag. I'm gonna do it in a box. Get some brown bags, because then I can recycle it. And
That'd be good,
go
though,
from
when
there.
you pull it out and you open it and your face just drops, because it's going to be something that it's going to look
Yeah.
but sooner or later it's going to be just sooner or later that model's going to come out that I really, really want to paint. That'll be the last one.
Yeah, and it will be. Yeah, but I'll tell you what though, is a challenge for you boys next week. So we're overrunning a little bit. Is a challenge for you next week. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be putting a video out this Friday about my terrain. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And Dom, I know you've been painting fences, so that don't count. so you can't do that. I'm going to ask people in the community on YouTube to do a video on a piece of terrain.
Alright.
Don't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be hard. I'm going to be doing a straightforward hedge. How I do a really easy hedge for people to just be able to get some terrain on the table. So by next week, do you think you could have that bit of terrain made, ready for the show?
What, scratch built?
Yeah, just a little easy bit of scratch build. It doesn't have to be a building. It could be a wall. Just an idea with basic stuff around the house that you think you could use to make a bit of terrain.
Yeah.
I can try.
There we go.
Mine's like, what have I got around it that no one's seen?
What have I got? Yeah, I can definitely try.
Yeah, give it a
go.
Give it a
Yeah,
go.
I mean, I'm into doing that sort
Give
of
it a
stuff. I did some. I used some sticks to make some walls and what have you a while back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean.
fun.
Just a bit of terrain.
Yeah.
Just anything, you can use anything. Just make something nice and simple that people can make, that we use in our hobby. So like, it could be just a scatter set of boulders,
Yeah.
on a CD base that you've done. Just something you can put on the table to fill it out. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Just has to be nice and simple, and people can make it easily. I'm going to do a tutorial video. If you can do a tutorial video, that would be even better. But have you seen that Fraser's done one of his? I don't think he's done tutorial videos before, but he's doing one for some miniatures he's got.
I saw it pop up in my chat, in my link, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
I like the view that he's got, the over the top camera angle. It's really nice, and it's using this like bendy sort of thing. I'm gonna have to have a look into one of those. So
One of these. This thing.
What is that? Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's got a grip on
Yeah,
it. hasn't it?
no, it's not. It's like the mic booms, but no, his is like this pipe thing, like oh god, I'll try something like this, but it's like bendy like this, so like bendy,
right?
But it sticks up out of the desk, but it's really sturdy. Looks really quite cool. I'll have to ask him in this video what it is, because that would be quite handy to have that just clip on somewhere. And do it through that. But yeah, I think we have overrun massively today.
We have a bit, mate. Yeah, we're extra 10 minutes of glorious rubbish that we've been talking about.
But yeah. Everyone happy if we call it?
Yep, let's call it a day.
Episode 17? Yep. thanks very much for watching, guys. Remember, next week we have Michael Perry. Yes, Michael Perry from Perry Miniatures. Oh my god. Coming on the show. So be sure to check that out. Mine and Dom's channel is going to be streaming it. We'll get links and stuff all set up, ready to go.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Any questions
yeah.
you've got in advance,
Okay, guys.
send me to the email gamerdom13@gmail.com.
So speak to you guys later. Thanks very much, guys. Take
Stay
care.
safe. Bye bye.